Hi, my name is Abdul Wahid and I am an English teacher. In this video, I'm going to tell you some things very precisely and everybody follows, everyone who speaks English, he strictly follows these rules. These are 7 golden principles of English. This is the first and utmost thing that you have to do. If you do this, if you follow these 7 golden principles of English, no one can stop you from learning and speaking English. And you will see that you will become one of the prominent, if you are students and if you're speakers, you can be the prominents as well. So these 7 golden principles, they are relating to number one, identification of present tense. It means when you are talking in present tense, you want to say what's happening these days in any form, continuous or indefinite or perfect continuous or whatever it is. I don't mean to mention these words here, but you use is, am, are, has, have, subject followed by first form, and can. And if you don't do this, you are not talking present. If you mean to talk present, you should use this. And if you don't, then I'm afraid you are thinking in present, but you are speaking something different. Easily identifiable. All the people, they understand. All those teachers, speakers, and everything, everyone, they know that these words means present is, am, are, has, have, S plus one can. Now the identification of past tense is was, were, had, subject followed by second form, could, and would. If you use these, you are talking about past tense, maybe history or stories. Okay, histories and stories, they are always in past tense, and you will see that in a story or in the whole book of history, you will see was, were, had, S plus 2, could, would. But in all science work, you'll see present is, am, are, has, have, S plus 1 can. Only a few stories. Stories are in present tense. If in this book of science you see a story will be in was, were, had, as opposed to could, would. Okay, they will be using this past tense. And if it is science, which is based on facts, you will see is, am, are, was, has, have, as plus one can. Here, many people they confuse themselves about future or not future. Okay, and they confuse themselves will and would. Okay, but here we need to understand what future is. Future means you are talking about an action which will take place in the time coming. You're talking about an action for the first time and guarantee that the action has not yet taken place. So once again, future is you are talking about an action for the first time and guarantee that the action has not yet taken place. In this situation, you will use will or maybe shall sometimes. Okay, so will and shall, they are the same, but it's common that people use will. Okay, shall is now rarely used these days. So this is identification of present, past, and future. This is very important. If you want to talk about something that relates to your planning, so you will use will or shall. Okay, and will shall. No, this is identification of present, past, and future. You see just a few words. Okay, all these in English, handling of these words I have written, they are 24. Okay, and this is the only thing that you will have to manage. If you ignore you will take longer to understand English. This is the only way that you can understand that what you have to do. You have to do this. In present, you will have to use is, am, are, has, have, as plus one, can. And if you don't, you are not talking about present. Similarly, if you want to tell a story or you want to talk about the past tense, you will have to use was, were, had, as plus to, could, would. Okay? And if you don't, you are out of past. You are not talking about past. Similarly, if you want to talk about future, that's use will, shall. And if you don't, I'm afraid you are not talking about future. Some people may drag some other sentences into future, but they are not the pure form. Now, next is more important. Here, violation is there is shuffling. Okay, for example, there are some sentences that don't have past. Okay, they are always written in present. So when you are telling a story and they are written in the present tense, so it's normal. Okay, we'll discuss in some other video. So which sentence they don't have past, I will discuss in another video. Okay, here, don't shuffle from past, present, and this is not good. Present and future, they may combine, okay? But past doesn't combine with present, past doesn't combine with future. And in the past tense, is in a story, if you happen to see a sentence that is in the present form, so it is because those sentences they don't have their past tense. Okay. Similarly, here next number 4. When you are using this word, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, does, did. Okay, 13 words. When you are using these, always use first form of verb. And if you don't, your English is very wrong. Okay. Well, not wrong, very, very wrong. Okay, blasted. So remember, and you will see, I will give you some examples here of newspaper maybe, okay? Any documents you'll see the will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, do, does, did, they are followed by first form. No one violates this, so you remember that. Second form, no helping verb, it is always in S plus 2 form, like, and then positive sentences, not negative, not interrogative, okay? Second form is not used in negative sentences. It is not used in interrogative sentences. So in positive sentences, only when you mean to say yes, okay? So then you use second form, okay, in response to the questions which begin with did. All right. So second form, no helping verb, okay? Next is always use why this, which will be black. Okay, now it's picture form. Okay, third form with has, have, had, being, 4 words. Don't include this with was, were, had, has, have, had, being. Always use third form with these words. Okay, maybe you don't use any form of verb, but if you use, always use third form. And if you don't, your sentence is very, very wrong. And people will say, oh, you don't know anything about English. Next are 7 words. After these words, you can use ing form, mostly ing form, or if you use the third form of verb, that's okay, no problem. So is, am, are, was, were, be, been, and they are followed by either ing form or third form. Now we go to some document, okay, and to verify is it true or not. Here I see I'm going to search document news. I'm searching news on Google. Okay, this is a newspaper, Dawn newspaper. Okay, what is the first news here? Okay, major Gaza hospital reopens amid the chaos of bombardment. So, lying bedridden in her room at the responded Nasser Hospital in Khan Younis in Gaza are is relieved. Okay, is followed by third form. Let's check this. Is followed by third form. Okay, you will never see is followed by first form or second form. It will always be ing form or third form. Now, can finally restart. Can restart. Finally, forget about that. Finally, can restart. Okay, here you see can followed by first form. Okay, and if they don't do this, English goes wrong. Now, displacement because of fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas in the Palestine territory interrupted by um, Abu Ahmad, the treatment of chronic conditions. So these are mostly headlines. I don't see this is a complete sentence. If it be in the territory interrupted, Palestine territory interrupted, um, ah, displacement because of fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas in the Palestine territory. I don't see any, what I should say, um, tenses, no present, past, future so far. Interrupted, okay, that takes me to past tense. Interrupted Abu Ahmad's treatment for a chronic condition. Okay. Anyway, this is not a proper sentence. Okay, that we get. Okay, let's see more. Now, always or field are followed by third form. Okay, and that's mentioned. And with the steel wrapped boxes of equipment and some semblance of order is negotiated. Okay, is returning is followed by ing form. Okay, here you can see ing form or third form is. Okay, now it's we move on to next. While its attacks, bombardments, and fighting continue S plus one to rock the border. Two followed by first form. Okay, I mentioned this. Will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must. Do, does, did. So two is followed by first form. And to rock. Rock is the first form. Other areas, Gaza and Nasser, the beds have followed by third form. Been is the third form. Have been strained. Okay, as I told you, is MR, was verb be been. Sometimes they are followed by ing form, sometimes followed by third form. It is specified, so it is followed by third form. So has been straightened. Beds have been straightened. Okay, the debris cleared. Okay, this same and white coats bearing doctors without borders MCS logs. Okay, like this is not a type of story. Okay, let's see. Go to another news. I don't know. They're just main points. Let's go to some other Dawn newspaper. Where is this? Uh, a group of Israeli peace activists traveled. Peace activists traveled. S plus 2, past. And then why in second form, no helping verb. You see no helping verb here. This is second form of verb. And Sunday's aid convey was comprised, was followed by third form, is am or was verb be been. Also you can see this is passive voice third form. To first form, to knock. Okay. And the settlers managed S plus 2. This is past tense because we got S plus 2. This is again second past tense. And the police did their job. Police did S plus 2. Okay, this is past tense. Can followed by first form, or we can continue. Okay, this is present. And was lost for damaged, and we can forward until the aid reaches. Okay, this is present. Aid reaches S plus 1. Said. Okay, these are the basically commands. Commands are always in present tense. Okay, the previous one is the story in the past, and next. These are all bullets. I don't see some. I need to see some paragraphs. Okay. Okay. In some other, you can see it. Okay. Uh, you will never see any violation of these. Okay. You will never see any violation. And if you see, be sure something is wrong. And if you follow these, you go quite easy. This is English. There are many other things, many other things. Intent continues this, that. But if you stick to this, first and foremost, very important is first you focus on this one. And if you think that you are clear in your mind, then you move to learning any other thing. This is the first thing that you have to learn. Okay. And if you mean to learn English, you will learn this. Okay. People learn this. All the people who speak English, they have learned this from reading books. Okay. Not from the book of grammar or from the teacher of grammar. They don't tell this. Okay. So this is major problem. That's why people are unable to speak English. They think that grammar is very big. Okay. And it takes, it requires years of time to learn. No, it's very simple. It takes just 15 minutes if you pay proper attention. You will see these words again and again. Count them from here. Will, would, shall, should, 13. And 4 has, have, had, being. And is, am, are, was, were, be, been. 7, 4, and 13. And they make 24. These are the words which are which we need to use very carefully. And if we do this, our English is good, no problem. So next time when you're using these words, be sure that you are using in the present, past, future, whatever it is. If you are writing present, use these. If you are writing past, use these. And if you mean future, use these. And if you're using these words, use always first form. And remember, when you're using second form, you should always, it should be in S plus 2 form, no helping verb, direct. Okay, I played, I wrote, like this. And with these verbs, has, have, had, being, for, and always use third form of verb. And with these 7, and if it is activized, that means if you know the person who is doing something, you use ing form. And if you don't know the person who is doing something, then your sentence is starting with an object or something, or someone who is not doing anything or unable to do anything. So in that case, you will see is, am, are, was, were, be, been. Always use third form with this. But if you know the person who is doing, if your sentence is starting with subject, then you use ing form. That's all about English. Okay. I hope you find this video very useful. Of course, this counters the whole English learning methods, okay, which were introduced by the British. Okay, it counters that, but it is useful. It is useful. You'll have to learn them. Okay, learn it today, learn it tomorrow, learn it day after tomorrow, next year, after 5 years, you will come to this. Okay, hope you find it useful and stay blessed. Have a nice and wonderful time ahead. Goodbye.